Welcome back, guys. Now, last tutorial we looked at how to comment out text, how to use formatted tags, and how to use the style attributes. In this tutorial we're going to be learning CSS styling, how to link style sheets. Although I've explained a bit on file paths in the previous lessons, I'll go through it here again. We'll also be talking about the head elements also. So first off, let's talk about the head elements. Now, in the head element contains unnecessary information about the page. The head element is a container for metadata, and metadata is data about the HTML document or file. Metadata is the document title, style, scripts, and other information. Metadata is not displayed, but it functions behind the scenes. So the audience in your site aren't going to see the metadata in work. There are different tags that can be in the head elements. Number one is the title tag, and you've seen me use this tag in previous lessons. It defines the name of your web page, and it's a required element, okay, that must be in every web page. Next is the style tag, but before we go into the style tag, a thing I want to note here is sometimes you hear me say HTML elements or HTML tag. So now the difference between the two is that HTML elements is everything from the start tag to the end tag, including everything inside and between the tags, while HTML tag is used to mark the end and start of an element. Okay, so you can call the both interchangeably, still practically means the same thing, just that I should put that there in case of confusion. So now the style tag gives your page styling. It's used only in the head elements and nowhere else. What we used in our previous lessons was the style attributes and not elements. Okay, so guys, there are different ways of adding styling to our HTML files, and in previous lessons I showed you just one way of doing this, and that method is called inline styling. If you didn't watch the previous lesson, please make reference to that. I'll be leaving a link on the top right corner to the lesson. So the other ways we give our web page styling is using the style tag in the head elements, which is called internal styling, and also by linking external CSS style sheet to our document, which is called external styling. So next is the link tag, okay, and the link tag is also called an empty tag. It is used for linking external style sheets to your document. So instead of us styling in the head or using inline styling, we simply do all of those in an external file, okay, and simply just link it to our HTML document. So this helps our work to be neat and easy to read. Next is the meta tag, which also happens to be an empty tag. This tag contains data about your page, like description of your page or author of the page and so on. I don't want to go any further in explaining the meta tag. We'll dive more into it when we start learning about building a responsive website. So before we start destroying our keyboards, we need to understand CSS. Okay, CSS in full means cascading style sheets. CSS is used to structure your web page and make it responsive, meaning to structure it in a way for it to be viewed on all devices, especially mobile devices, because about 70% of internet users are all on a mobile device. So CSS is very useful, and without CSS your web page is going to look like total garbage. CSS also helps move elements around the web page. Okay, so let's start having a bit of fun with CSS styling. Okay, so we'll just use a p tag here and say let's design this. Yeah. Okay, so we'll run this using our live server. Okay, and as you can see, let me zoom this in a bit. Alright, so as you can see, this looks pretty normal. Now when we are done styling this with CSS, this will look a lot more better. So we'll just create a new file. Okay, go to file, then new file, and we'll call this style.css. I mean. Okay, so every CSS file must have the .css file extension attached to the end of it. I don't know if I've said this before, but Visual Studio Code helps you create a file without having to go to your file directory in File Explorer. So I just showed you how to do that here by going to File, New File, and created the file. But you have to save that file, and when you save it, it goes to the file directory of the last file you created. Okay, so wherever you want to save that file, you do that. But I'm saving mine in the same location where I saved my index.html. It's way better that way. So save. Now, so we need to talk about how to link our style sheet to our index.html file for it to be applied to our file. Okay, so to do that, we come here and we call this in our head elements. Okay, so we go link, link, then rel equals to, so inside here, style sheet, okay, then href, okay, then style.css. Okay, now the rel attribute specifies the relationship between the current documents and the linked documents. The href attribute is used to link the documents. I explained how file path works in the previous lessons, but I'll explain that here again, like I said. So HTML file path is used to describe the location of a file in your website folder, which is wherever you kept your website files. When defining the file path, you must state the file extension of the file, and also we use a / to designate a folder or directory. So let's assume style.csc was inside a folder called styles. Okay, so what I will do is I'll use a / here, and I will call the styles folder. Oops, made a mistake here. Yes, so I'll call the styles folder. Okay, now right now there's no styles folder created. The style.csc isn't in any styles folder. So if I'm to save this, whatever I do in my style.csc wouldn't work, okay, because I didn't link it properly. Alright, so I'm just showing you an example here. Just maybe you create yours and you want to put all of your CSS style sheets in a different folder. That's fine. Okay, but I'm just creating one file here, so I don't think I need to do that. Okay, so before we start styling, there are some few things I would like to treat out first, but I'm trying to keep each lessons as short as possible, so we'll treat that in the next lessons. And also our index.html, and also we are going to start our index.html file in our next lesson. So if the next lesson is out by the time you're watching this, just click on the escrow video by the right here. There's no assignments for this lesson because it's a bit incomplete, so stay tuned for the next lesson. So that practically rounds it up for this lesson. Please destroy the like button. It's helped motivate me and produce more content for you guys. Comment if you have any questions or would like to contribute. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys.